Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kid Outlier channel. Glad to see you could all make it back. As I said in a previous episode, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be following the female persuasion as they attempt to date in the year 2023. And because I'm an asshole, I'm going to be making commentary and critiquing and just throwing my 2 cents in to interject my opinion into the lives of these lovely, lovely ladies. But before we get started, I need to put out a bit of a disclaimer. So here you go.
I do like the ladies, you know. I do like them.
There you go.
That's right, ladies. Remember, Kid Outlier always has your back. My goal is just to simply show that we're all wired a specific way, male, female, and the quicker we realize this, and the faster we submit to it, the sooner we can get back to things being normal again, which would mean dating would theoretically become easier.
What?
And isn't that what you want? Also, my hope is to show all the guys that through my experience and the things that I've learned on the dating market, that you need to know how women think and how to be ahead of that. So without wasting any more time, I give you this episode's grand feature. So with this first video, we have dating tips for divorcees. To preface this, we have a reply to a comment up on the left-hand corner. So this woman is divorced, the one commenting to this woman in the video who's replying to the comment, and she says that because she was divorced, she couldn't be happier.
Just like a woman.
So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Yes, Queen, I love that for you.
So right off the bat, we're calling each other Queen. This is a term of endearment in 2023. And if anybody knows what a queen is, she wants for nothing, and she can beckon others to do things for her. She has serfs below her. She is of high value. She is entitled because she has a title. So without watching anything else about what this woman has to say, this right here is a red flag. This is the mentality that females have in 2023, referring to each other as queen or person who is entitled, person who is of high value, person who should be served.
Off with his hands! Off with his hands!
Let that sink in. Let's continue with the video.
And now that you are out in the dating market, I have a tip for you if you ever decide to date someone who has been previously married. So this actually came up recently because my friend was dating someone who said that they were recently divorced, and I was like, "Did you fact check that?" He was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You need to make sure that man is actually divorced because people lie." Dating.
To translate this in the language of womanese, what she means when she says people lie, she specifically is talking about men.
Don't bring it up!
Dating is already hard enough, and it can be worth it or not. It just depends on what you want. So, if you ever find yourself on a date with someone who says they are previously married, you need to find out their full name and where that divorce might have happened, where they were living.
I mean, why?
Then take your little butt on the internet and go to the Superior Court website of wherever they were living and type their name in and look for civil and family law cases to see if they have a divorce decree.
What?
Did you guys catch that? Now put the shoe on the other foot. Men do not take advice from women. This is an example of that. Because the first time you go and you do your due diligence on a woman and her past, especially to this degree, you can kiss sex goodbye, you can kiss a relationship goodbye, and you can probably kiss your freedom goodbye. Here is one of the stark differences between male privilege and pretty privilege. But let's continue the video.
There you go. You're welcome.
You try to read people, like you feel like you're really good at reading people. Like
I'm sorry?
you're so good at reading everyone, right? Like you can feel the vibe and the energy that someone's giving you. My therapist just told me we try to read people so that we can know what to expect.
And this gives you power over me.
She's got a therapist, guys. Anyone surprised? A part of that healing journey. So she believes that she needs a therapist to give her guidance on decisions she needs to make in her life. The men that she was choosing, notice I didn't say men that she was attracting, so because she was choosing the wrong men, she could not follow the lead of said man or didn't want to follow the lead. But it's clear that this is a woman who does not trust men, cannot trust a man and follow his lead in life and help her make the correct decisions. She needs a therapist. That therapist is giving her incorrect advice. And here's why I say that. Her therapist is telling her that her trying to read people is a negative thing. One thing you need to understand about females is that they're biologically wired to test you. Whether you are female or male, they're biologically wired to test your energy. This is something that they just naturally do, and this therapist is giving her the idea that what she does naturally is a negative thing. Let's continue with the video.
Which is a trauma response. Because if we can read a room, if we can read someone, then we can avoid being uncomfortable, being hurt, feeling anything uneasy.
Do you feel in charge?
So this therapist is telling her that she has been traumatized, and it is a trauma response to try to gauge somebody in their energy when this is something women naturally and are hardwired to do. This is in their evolution. Literally, the blind leading the blind here.
So we try to read people. And when we can't read someone, we get frustrated. We're just like, I can't read you. And we don't really know what to do with that. When really we need to be sitting with that and be like, it's okay. I'm going to live in this moment and try not to read their energy. Because that's the healthy thing to actually do. You don't need to live in survival mode of constantly trying to read people's energies. Just let people be who they are, and you can react accordingly.
So it's healthy for us not to read other people's quote unquote energy, when in reality, women are survival creatures. When dating, when looking for a mate, women do not look for a man who loves them. They look for the biggest, the strongest, the most intellectual, emotionally intelligent man that they can find, which goes back to the idea that they are looking at the internal guts of a man. When choosing a suitable mate that can guide her and her offspring and protect them throughout life. This is why women are always susceptible to cheating, because as their life goes on, they will find a more suitable mate, at least in their eyes, than the one that they previously chosen. So again, this woman is being led like sheep to the slaughter.
Pathetic.
When being told by this therapist that she's not supposed to be gauging people and what they might want from her, or what they might try to do to her, or if they're just good people in general, whatever the case might be, whatever those person's internal intentions are, that she's not supposed to gauge those things. When this is instinctively and biologically what women are made to do. This is their strength. This is one of the strengths that they have as a female that most men do not have. The majority of men do not have this. We have to learn this type of trait. This is a skill that most of us never learn, but something that comes to women naturally. All right, let's continue.
You don't need to live in survival mode of constantly trying to read people's energies. Just let people be who they are, and you can react accordingly. You don't have all the information for when you're trying to read someone. You're only coming up with speculations. It's not facts. It feels like a fact, but it's not. And sometimes we're proven right, and that doesn't really help with the whole situation. But
are you hearing this? She literally knows. She says it's speculation, but she knows as a female what people's intentions are the majority of the time. Just because nowadays that instinct can get you in trouble. You know, it's something called judgment. Judgment is a good thing. It helps you detect who you should be around, who you shouldn't be around, who you should date, who you should not date. It literally is there for a reason. It's not something that you should fight against. But here you are having a therapist telling a woman who naturally, instinctively thinks this way to not think this way. That's crazy.
you can just let people be because it's going to happen anyways.
What exactly does she mean by it's going to happen anyways? Does she mean that what she instinctively knows is going to happen, whether it be good or bad, is going to happen anyways? Is that what she's saying? That is absolutely nuts. Trying to fight something that's not supposed to be fought against. Whatever. On to the next video.
Dismissed.
Okay. This says, dating after divorce is weird. Now, my perspective on all this is, so she was married and got a divorce. And in her vows, I'm sure it said, till death do us part. I'm sure she goes on to tell us how it is weird to her. But to be honest with you, it's weird because you're not supposed to be divorced once you get married.
Duh.
Your body, you naturally, instinctively go into married mode where you are a unit, not a single person. But let's continue. It says, I'm not a girlfriend. I'm a wife. Well, you divorced your husband. That would make you no longer a wife, right? It says, I want to see you 24/7, cook your favorite meals, take care of you, and make you the happiest you've ever been. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you telling me this woman was divorced, can't get away from being the wife that she was to the person or the husband that she had when she was married, but somehow found it inside of her to get divorced because of whatever reason, and now wants to stay in wife mode? She wants to see you 24/7. She wants to cook your favorite meals. She wants to take care of you and make you the happiest you've ever been. Well, let me ask you this. Did she do that for her previous husband? So she, again, internally and instinctively knows what her husband wanted from her. She wants to do all these things for him and make him the happiest he's ever been. Did you do those things for your husband? Did you cook for him? Did you make his favorite meals? Did you want to see him 24/7? Did you want to take care of him? Did you want to make him the happiest he's ever been? Because I can tell you now, the majority of men are looking for a good wife, and these traits would constitute a good wife, in my opinion. So why exactly did you divorce him? Was it because he wasn't making you happy? Were you not happy with the fact that he wasn't always home and he had to work all these hours just to take care of a family? Because nowadays, a family cannot survive with only one person paying the bills. Would you have been willing to work a job and do those things for him? There's a saying that comes to mind that goes, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So she wants to be the wife, but she can't seem to find the mate that she wants to be that wife to, is the way I take it. Let's continue.
How come every time I come home there ain't never no dick here? This is stupid ass house. to fight.
And whose fault is that? Are the females not the selector of our species? Don't you women get hundreds of DMs on a daily basis? If that's what you were truly looking for, you could have that. All you have to do is open your phone. It for them, for a female, it would be like ordering takeout, right? It'd be that easy. What is she even talking about? When you're single for the first time in a decade, you could walk outside and have a relationship. You could order a relationship on a dating app. The problem is, it's that there's certain men that you want, and the majority of men are invisible to you. I mean, it even says on your shirt, I love hot dads. See, they have to be hot. They have to be attractive to you. The majority of the guys that you would be attracted to, even though you know that women become attracted to men through them internally, through their guts of being a man, that you won't even give the guys that you find to be not attractive a chance to come up and talk to you and be that man that you want, that you need them to be. They're all invisible to you. There's no sympathy for a creature like this. Let's move on to the next video.
How can you say I have something special when 100 men didn't want her and I do?
Listen, if you can't handle the competition, just say that. I know.
Hold on a minute. She's saying that he cannot handle the competition.
Ouch!
If 100 men have slept with the same woman and they did not want her, and then he picks her up and says, I do. Hold on, let's run that back.
How can you say I have something special?
So he says that she's not special if she's been with 100 men, and those 100 men did not want her. They didn't see anything in her. So that's clear sign that there's something wrong with her. Yeah, we can have a little bit of fun. We'll have a little bit of fun with them. Absolutely. But you're designated as fun only. So they didn't want her because of something that is wrong with her. Whether she's been guided and incorrectly guided in life, just can't tolerate men, whatever the case might be. There's something wrong with her that all those other guys go, you know what? There's not anything to her. I don't want her. There's something wrong with her. She needs to fix something. And I'm not going to waste my time doing that, right?
100 men didn't want her and I do.
Listen, if you can't handle the competition,
and she calls that competition. That's not First, right off the bat, you are incorrect how you're commenting on this video. You're 100% incorrect. This is not competition. This is men saying, wow, this thing has been passed around. There's something wrong with it. I don't want it. Right?
just say that. I know you can't fathom a woman being in control of her sexuality.
So, a woman in control of her own sexuality.
What?
She's in control of her own sexuality. Remember this. Remember her saying that she's in control of her own sexuality. Now, here's the thing. The question becomes, who is the consumer of her sexuality?
That's a mystery.
And I don't want to hear some bullcrap answer like, men, women, it's, theys, that's, XYZ, blah, blah. Naturally, biologically, a woman's sexuality is consumed by men. We are the consumers of her sexuality. Therefore, we are in control of the female sexuality. Think about it this way. If I have a product and I need to sell it in order to make a profit, right? I'm making a living, right? Otherwise, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be destroyed socially. I'm not going to be able to feed my family. I'm not going to be able to feed myself, take care of myself, whatever the case might be. If I have a product, if I do not move that product, if I do not sell that product, I'm in trouble. So with that being said, a woman's product is her sexuality, and the consumer is us. So if nobody buys that product, your life is going to be in shambles. So therefore, those people technically are in control of whether or not you survive, right? So her saying that a woman in control of her own sexuality, women are not in control of their sexuality, just like men are not in control of their sexuality. Women consume men's sexuality. We are to be appealing to women. Women are to be appealing to men, right? Let's listen to what else this banshee has to say.
Yeah, but just because she's had sex with 100 men doesn't mean that 100 men have thrown her away.
What? That's exactly what it means. See the previous comment that I've made.
Think about it. How do you know she didn't want 100 one-night stands?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
She wanted 100 one-night stands?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
That's what she wanted? I mean, we know for a fact that that's not what women look for. Women don't look for sex. Women look for a mate that they are attracted to, and then internally and mentally, they want to have sex with men. Men physically want to have sex with women. It's a physical, biological need. There's a huge difference. She doesn't just want that. Now, if that's what she wanted, then more than likely she had been broken. She had something happen in her life, because that is not normal actions. Those are not normal actions that a normal person takes. So there's nothing to think about so far. Everything you're saying is coming from a broken vessel. Everything you're saying is ludicrous. Lady, you are delusional. You can spit out whatever vernacular you want to, as fast as you want to, but the things that you say don't make any sense.
How do you know she didn't throw away 100 men that couldn't satisfy her? The answer is you don't know. You just can't comprehend a woman being capable of casual sex.
Oh, okay.
No, we can comprehend a woman being capable of casual sex. No one has a problem with a woman having casual sex. No one has a problem with that. What we have a problem with is broken women defending other broken women's decisions and calling it empowerment. Let's stop calling things that aren't as though they are something else.
But let me ask you another question. If a woman's had multiple sexual partners but only fell in love with one, then why isn't that man special?
If a woman had multiple sexual partners and only fell in love with one, why isn't that man special? Isn't it the fact that the woman isn't special because she's had multiple men? It's about how many men women have had. See, you lose your ability to pair bond with a man after being with so many men. You are not meant to be with multiple men throughout your life. As a matter of fact, biologically, women gravitate towards men who have a lot of women pining for him. This is internally, this is inside of you. And the opposite is to be said about men. We do not want women who have a lot of men going after them. It disgusts us. It turns us off. While men who have multiple women turns you on. The problem is we don't know each other's strengths and weaknesses. If we did, I do believe our society wouldn't be broken. Dating would be much easier.
And why is he less special than if she fell in love with the first man she encountered?
You try my patience, witch.
Why is he less special if she fell in love with the first man she encountered? Because she's in love with the first man she encountered and not you. She has been alpha widowed, meaning that she will leave the guy that she's with for the guy that she's in love with.
If anything, that would make him more special because she chose him above everyone else. And trust
It would make him more special because she chose him above everyone else. Lady, she was in love with the first guy, so that's who she chose. Just because she was with another guy does not mean that she chose him. That means that he's the weakest man she was able to find that she could get the most resources out of. because women are survival creatures. That's what that means. So many things are lost on you. I mean, it's funny to me because men, this is a known fact, right? Men speak about 2,000 words a day. Women speak about 4,000 words a day. Their brains are way more active than a man's brain. So make this make sense to me. You're able to speak and articulate in such a way that makes you feel superior to men. But women talk more, they think more, but they understand less, while men talk less, think less, and understand more.
To me, it takes a better man to win over a woman with options than it does to take advantage of a woman's inexperience.
If she sleeps with 100 men, what makes you think that you're going to be 101 and that she's going to stay with you because she cares about you, because she has some type of connection with you? That's not going to happen.
But this is how I know that insecurity clouds the judgment of any man that makes this argument.
He literally only spoke less than half of what you've spoke, made his point, and you think he's insecure. He's speaking out of insecurities. Are you sure he's not speaking out of biological traits that we men find appealing and that we will not accept women who go outside of those boundaries? They're called boundaries. They're not called insecurities.
Because you're not drawn to scarcity. You're drawn to women that don't know better.
Men want you to be less experienced so they could be the leaders in the bedroom. They want you to be less experienced in everything so we can be the leaders. So you can take our hand and say, I trust your leadership, right? You can't guide a strong, independent, boss babe queen, right? Because she knows everything.
So you can sit there and keep tearing women down, but the only person you're telling on is yourself.
Lady, no one is tearing women down. Men in society have made it very clear what they want out of a mate. And when I say men, I mean masculine men. I'm not talking about any other community besides the straight heterosexual community of males and females and the biological differences between the two. Trying to bridge that gap. All the while we have TikTokers like you trying to burn that bridge. Right? I mean, I get it. You've been hurt. You've been traumatized. We get it. Go see a therapist. Go further down that validating rabbit hole. Worsen your life experience. Or you could listen to Kid Outlier as he makes your path straight. And as you listen and follow, all will be right with the world again. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something a little bit different, but I'm glad you decided to come along with us. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also check us out on our social media platforms. Help us grow this channel. Help us make this world a better place. And if you're still with us, I wanted to greatly appreciate you and say thank you for finishing up this video. And I hope to see you again in the next one. Later.